Okay, we're here for The Crown and the Arrow, which is probably going to be a much shorter review. I have very little to say on this. According to Goodreads, this is 18 pages, so definitely a short story. I literally read it in the day. I read it in like maybe a couple of minutes because I was just reading this a little bit before bed. Here's what we have. 71 days and 71 nights had come and gone since Khalid began killing his brides. This dawn, Khalid would mark the loss of the 72nd girl, Shahrazad. I'll give you some context on that too. I'll forgive my really bad pronunciation. Al Khaizeron? Khalid didn't know how many more of these dawns he could take. And there was something about this latest girl that piqued his interest. Not only had she volunteered to marry him, but at their wedding ceremony, she had seemed not the least bit afraid. In fact, what he had seen in her eyes was nothing short of pure hatred. She was about to lose her life. Why wasn't she afraid? Why did she hate him so? He had never before gone to his wife's chambers before her death at dawn. Tonight would be different. Oh, never mind. It's one of the. It's just another thing. Anyway, so this is interesting because I don't have a lot to say about this. I think this one was written a little bit better than the Moth and the Flame, but I would have definitely liked it to be a little bit longer because we don't fully understand what's happening in this story. This story has little dialogue, and the dialogue that we do get doesn't show a lot. This is mainly in Khalid's point of view, and we kind of get to see his character a little and how he is struggling with himself, seeing himself as a monster, and also like explaining the 71 nights and days, and explaining that the deaths, and that there is like a little bit of a hint of things, and we know like he's like it should, this will soon be over, that kind of thing. But we don't know why he's killing his brides. Now, for those who do not know, Wrath in the Dawn is a retelling of 1001 Nights. So 1001 Nights is 1001 Nights is sorry. Okay. So 1001 Nights is a very loosely connected narrative. So basically this king finds out that his wife is cheating on him, and he kills her. And now, in order not to be cheated on again, he ends up marrying a different woman each night, and killing them in the morning, and then just marry another one, and so on. So this happens for a time, and then eventually Shahrazad volunteers to marry him. She is the daughter of one of his advisors, and of his advisor basically, and she agrees to marry him, but she has a plan in order to not to die. And the way that she ends up keeping herself alive is telling him stories. So what she does is she tells him one story each night, and then she ends up interweaving these stories and basically ending the night on a cliffhanger, and he becomes so interested in the stories that he doesn't kill her because he wants to see the end of the story, and she keeps interweaving the stories, and so on. And that's where we get stories like Aladdin, for example, basically from 1001 Nights. So basically that's what it is. So that's what Wrath in the Dawn is. So Shahrazad is that character. And we don't get to really meet her until the end, when they get married, which was basically just him saying wife and to seal the marriage, and just her saying my king. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But it was really interesting to see Khalid and his thoughts on himself, and basically giving us a bit of a tease on what happens in the Wrath in the Dawn. So I don't have a lot to say. I do think it would have been great to get some context in this story as to what exactly is happening, in order for us to get to know him a little bit more, because I'm not sure if we're going to get to know him in Wrath of the Dawn, or if it's going to be a mostly third person limited story. So the Moth and the Flame was mostly in Despina's point of view, so mostly third person limited, but there was a point where it did turn to Jalal and stuff like that. The things that we do learn in this story are, however, that Jalal is the king's cousin. We already knew that he was a noble. We we didn't really know how close they actually were. Turns out they're cousins, so I thought that was really interesting. And apparently there are threats against his life, which, again, extremely interesting. And I can't wait to see what happens, because it's just kind of teased me a bit. So those are my thoughts. I think it could have been longer, and I would have liked a little bit more than just surface level getting to know of, oh, what's his dude's name? Of oh, I forgot his name now. Oh, of Khalid. I would have loved to get a little bit more than just like a basic than just this very basic, like, I don't know, this just super basic way to see him. I don't know. I just think it could have been better in that end. It could have given us more. It could have given us more of a getting to know him. So those are my thoughts on that, but let me know what you think if you've read this. So yeah, I will see you soon in the next thing I have. I think next week is going to be a Blind Anticipates video, I'm pretty sure. So I'll see you soon, and until then, consume stories. And actually, before I go, consider subscribing to my channel for more content, like the video, and consider subscribing to my blog, which will be linked in the description. And until my next video, consume stories. Bye!